Your gaming PC should not be loud. No, really. If you're sick of your PC sounding like a jet's taking off, then this is the video for you. Because you see, there are some super simple and importantly free ways to get your PC to be as quiet as possible. And unfortunately, most of these aren't actually enabled by default. So tens of thousands of gamers are probably suffering in silence. No, wait, not that. Suffering in noise! So throughout this video, what we're going to do is go through all of the ways that you can tune your system, as I say, as cheaply, if not as freely as possible. They'll help you to have something that sounds like a jet landed 10 minutes ago. And I think the best place to start this is just with a simple question. Why is your PC loud in the first place? And whilst it's absolutely true that it could be down to almost any part of your gaming PC, it's almost certainly caused by the fans, with their sole purpose to cool your PC with their spinning blades. But despite what you might think, they are not all made equal. And it really is crazy how some of them can be silent and others sound more like a V8. Noise is impacted by the material the fan is made from, the shape and number of blades, as well as the overall size. The larger and the thicker the fan, the slower and the quieter the fan can be, whilst pushing the same quantity of air and thus having the same cooling performance as something smaller. But let's be honest, for most of you that's probably pretty boring, and you didn't come all of this way, I mean it's not very far, it's on YouTube, to learn about polybutylene. You came here to learn that actually all fans, or at least most fans, can be tuned to have something much quieter. Most fans will have what's known as an operating range, where higher RPM speeds generate more cooling, but generate more noise. When you plug in your fans to your PC, they'll either be plugged directly into your power supply, or connected to your motherboard or an internal hub. Always remember that any fans connected to the motherboard or an internal hub can be easily tuned, whereas those connected directly to the power supply are set at full speed all of the time. Even with your fans connected directly to the motherboard though, you're still at the mercy of the dreaded default settings that are way louder than they need to be. And off script for a second, when I first turned this PC on, I hadn't used it in a while and it had reset the BIOS, and then suddenly it was making an absolute racket. So I had to tune my fans just for this video. How's that for relatable? If this is starting to sound a little bit confusing though, don't worry, we are going to walk you through exactly how to tune your fans later in this video, but it's worth noting that systems can have other issues as well. For example, it is extremely common that these days people have spent a load of money on an all-in-one liquid cooler, which not only has extra fans that you need to tune, but a pump unit that pushes water around inside the loop. And if this is not profiled or tuned, it too can create excess noise with a loud whirring that can poke through an otherwise very quiet PC. Case in point, I've left this a little bit high so you can hear the noise. And it's not too annoying, but it doesn't have to be that loud. Also bear in mind as well that if you are lucky enough to have invested a load of money in a brand new graphics card and it's particularly high end and it consumes a lot of power, you may have come across the dreaded coil whine, and this is harder to fix. And this is essentially when you have loads of power all going through your GPU, and depending on the exact scene and the exact frame rate, you might have this annoying kind of electrical whine coming directly from the graphics card. And because you can't really tune this out, it can be quite problematic and it can be very annoying. Not only this, but whilst I think it's fair to say that most of us these days do have an SSD-only system with no moving parts, many of us still rely on spinning hard drives for mass storage of images, music, and videos. And these naturally create noise, but can also vibrate your whole case if they're not properly damped. And then finally, and I don't want to sound in any way patronizing here, but don't forget about the proximity to your gaming PC from ear. If you have your PC on the desk and you love the look of it and you want to show it off, don't forget that obviously this is going to generate more noticeable noise than if you had it underneath or somewhere else in a different room. Not only that, but it also comes down to the exact case you have, whether it's got a glass side panel, whether it can breathe in through the front, because you have like this weird balancing act where if you have a completely closed off case, in theory that's blocking out the noise, but then the fans are going to spin much faster because they don't have the same amount of airflow. Whereas you could also have a case that was all mesh and it was fantastic for airflow, but then if you're really close to all of those fans, especially the GPU, then you're going to hear this, and even though your PC might be optimized in terms of airflow, it's still going to be relatively loud in terms of what you can actually hear. But that's pretty much your synopsis, your overview of what makes your gaming PC loud. But let's now move on to how we actually fix it. Right after a short word from this video's sponsor. Corsair's epic triple chamber case has arrived, bringing next level cooling and stunning panoramic looks. The Corsair Air 5400 utilises a standalone chamber that's dedicated for all-in-one liquid coolers, cleverly diverting the hot air away from your motherboard, graphics cards and SSDs. The main chamber oozes luxury, with its curved tempered glass highlighting all of your prized components and providing a flow-through design to keep your graphics card cool and quiet, with airflow ducts designed to feed air to where it's needed the most. The Air 5400 also features the Rapid Route 2.0 cable management system in the third chamber, letting you easily create a tidy build, and thanks to the new brushed cable grommets, it's now simpler than ever. It comes fitted with either reverse blade RS fans for simplicity, or LXR fans for IQ Link luxury, and it's available in either black or white. Learn more and level up today with a link down below. Welcome back then everyone, and let us resume. How do we fix our loud PC? And I'm incredibly pleased to say that unusually for PC gaming, the good news here is that most systems can see a vast improvement for completely nothing. It's free. It's just a case of optimization, though we will always suggest a few upgrades for those that have fans that are running at a fixed speed or that just are naturally very loud. And the funny thing as well is that it's so straightforward, it's very simple, probably a little bit scary if you've not built your PC yourself, but what you need to do is take both the side panels off so you can actually see what's going on inside your PC, and then you have a look at the different fan headers on the motherboard. Where are the fan cables, and more importantly, where are they actually going to? Because remember earlier we said if they're going to the power supply, this is bad because it means that they're going to be running at full speed all of the time, whereas if you find, like in here, we've got some that are actually connected to the fan headers, they might be called CHF fan, which means chassis fan, or hopefully your CPU fan is going to the one that says CPU fan on it. This means that they're connected to the motherboard and we can tune them in software. The only real criteria for success here is that your fan uses a 3 or 4 pin fan connection, or one of these proprietary ones from Corsair, NZXT or Lee, and that you actually have enough fan headers on the motherboard or the hub that you're going to connect them to, and do avoid using splitters if you want more granular control. Do be aware though that in almost all circumstances there should be a CPU cooler connected to the CPU fan header on your motherboard, as there's actually a baked-in safety mechanism that checks this, so if it's not connected, your PC probably won't boot and you'll get an error. Once you're happy that all of your fans have been connected to the motherboard, it's then time to restart your PC by mashing the delete key. Here you'll be greeted with your BIOS screen, and it's usually on the front page that you'll find fan tuning. It might be called Easy Fan, Fan Expert, or something like that. There's a few different options, but the easiest is an automatic tune. Not available on all motherboards, but if it is present, this will detect the lowest speeds your fans can actually run at, and then slowly ramp up the fan speed to assess the effect on your CPU temperatures, with the end result being a custom fan curve that's created just for you. And I really can't stress enough just how crucial and just how key these fan curves are to having a quiet system. That could have been the whole video. We're done here. Get a fan curve. No, but seriously, jokes aside, the whole point of what we're trying to achieve here is just to make sure every part of our PC is tuned so that when we need our fans to ramp up and there's a lot going on, everything's consuming a lot of power, these fans spin up, they make noise, but we can deal with that. Whereas in a scenario like this, when the PC is just on and in the desktop, it really doesn't need to be making any noise whatsoever. And if it's not been tuned, it just naturally will create more noise, as I say, when you just don't need to. Now, if you don't have an automatic tuner, or you just want to do it yourself, you can also select from pre-made fan profiles, usually silent, standard, or extreme. But in my experience, they're all just still a bit too loud under desktop use, so I always like to create a custom one. Of course, it's going to depend on the exact rig that I'm using, but usually I want my CPU to be about 50 degrees in the desktop, and then ramp up to about 80 in a game. So I'll bend all of the fan curves downwards under 50 degrees, and then start to ramp up the speed until it hits 100% fan load at around about 85 degrees. Also bear in mind that depending on the exact make and model of your all-in-one, you can usually tune your pump in the exact same way, but I would check the cooler specifications for any set minimum speeds before making the changes, as you do want to make sure that it functions properly. Regardless though, once you've made all of the changes, don't forget to save and exit before getting back into the desktop. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done this and you've had your gaming rig for the last 2.5 years, you will not believe the difference. And I can source this as myself, because my first ever gaming rig, I did not do this for about 2.5 years, and I could not believe the difference, and I honestly felt a little bit silly. But you don't have to feel silly, because no one teaches you this stuff, and you just think that the default is going to work, right? But your PC doesn't need to be as loud as it was before. So this is fantastic. But some of you watching this may have already realized the slight catch here, which is that all of our fans are now tuned to the CPU. But what if it's the graphics card that needs all of the cooling? Well, the short answer is that in most instances, you can't actually tune against this within the BIOS, and that fan software in Windows is the answer. And if you actually have a matching motherboard and graphics card brand, then their own softwares are likely to pick up both of your components and then allow you to set any fans in your system to ramp up versus the CPU or the GPU temperature, which can massively help in games where the CPU is barely used. But to be honest, this is a little bit limited, so if you have a cooler already or a hub from NZXT, Lee, Corsair or others, then you'll probably find that their software picks up both your CPU and GPU temperatures brand agnostically, and providing that your fans are connected to one of their hubs, you'll be able to redirect these with ease. So there you are then. I think that is literally everything No, hang on a minute. That's tuning the case fans, but what if the case fans weren't the problem in the first place? What if it was the graphics card that was making the noise? How can we fix that? Well, firstly, I will say that that's almost a little bit of a trick question, because the first thing you need to do after tuning your case fans is to work out where the noise is still coming from. Is it the graphics card? Is it the CPU cooler? Is it the power supply? And then you can make an informed decision about what it is that you need to tune. If it is the graphics card that's making a racket, I would always advise running a game, making sure that it's running at 100% GPU load, and then assessing its temperature. If it's anything under 80 degrees, then the good news is that you should have some headroom for lower fan noise, though I would always ensure that your case fans are providing enough airflow to your card before modding the card itself. Your GPU brand will almost certainly have its own software tool, like MSI Afterburner or Asus GPU Tweak, but of course you can use third-party tools if you want, just be aware that the user risks of such apply. The rest is super simple, just open up your software, find your graphics card, and then in the exact same manner as you did for your CPU, select a desired profile or change the fan curve to ramp up at a higher temperature. But of course, as we mentioned earlier, if your graphics card is making noise but it's not from the fans, it may well be that dreaded coil whine. And as long as you are sure that it is the graphics card, not the power supply, because they're also prone to this, then unfortunately your options are a little bit more limited. The first one is to cap your frame rate in-game to stop the crazy high FPS that often causes coil whine when it's running like 800 FPS, for example. Or if it's still doing it under normal conditions, you can consider putting a power cap in place in your driver panel at maybe like 5 to 10% less. But then again, if you're doing that and you spend all of this money, in particular on the very coil whine prone RTX 5090, you know, $2,000, and then you're leaving performance on the table by capping it, that's clearly not going to go down very well. But I will say as well that something like coil whine is only a lot more noticeable in systems that are already very quiet. I suppose it's the same with everything, right? You're not going to notice the pump noise from this rig if the fans were spinning a lot quieter. In order to optimize for silence, you kind of need everything in your rig to be as quiet as possible. And obviously when you are playing a game or you are doing a workload that's using a lot of your components, naturally your PC is going to generate more noise. But if you do want the absolute quietest thing possible, here are a few upgrades, a lot of them quite cheap, that you could make to improve things. Current pricing on all of these, by the way, are linked down below. And our cheapest option is purely for hard drives, pumps, fans or radiators that are generating vibrations. And the solution is really straightforward. It's just to grab some little rubber pads that go in between the screws on your case, and it will help to stop that metal resonance from driving you insane. I think the best option for most people though is probably going to be to upgrade your fans. Now, to be clear, these don't have to be super high-end or have friggin' LCDs in them, but a proper enthusiast set with 4-pin PWM fan control will likely allow you to have a quieter system at the same RPMs, as well as better cooling performance. Now, my personal favourites at the moment are the Lee ALV2s, as used in my personal rig, but we'll leave all of our favourites down in the description below, including the ones that come with USB controllers, like the ALV2. Of course though, your PC fans are kind of only half the story, and if you don't already have a decent CPU cooler, well, your PC's probably making a racket, again, for no real reason. Air coolers are usually much cheaper, but all-in-ones look stunning, and are better for PCs that are transported regularly, ideal as such for a mail-order gaming PC. You can also consider getting yourself a fan hub. Not an advert, but Corsair has just launched a Commander Duo, which lets you control standard fans in iCUE, and then assign them as GPU cooling, but again, plenty of other brands available. I would also carefully consider reflecting on your case and its layout, as better airflow designs, larger chambers, and strategic glass placement really can help you to reduce the noise of your system, even if it already has great airflow. Once again, speaking from experience here, I had a PC a while ago that was so incredibly loud when I was gaming, and the reason for that was because I front mounted a radiator from an all-in-one that was then chucking all of this hot air directly into the graphics card, which was then causing that to not overheat, but just run way louder than it needed to. Whereas if I instead had the CPU cooler at the top of the system as an exhaust, then the GPU wouldn't be fed to that hot air, and thus the whole system should in theory be quieter. But then, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got this far, you've tried everything and nothing else seems to work, your gaming PC makes an absolute racket whilst gaming, then you can take the nuclear option, which is of course to upgrade your GPU. Because new cards are more power efficient, which means they generate less heat, and larger fans and heat sinks on the more expensive models do a better job of dissipating what they do make. And then, while certainly not everyone's cup of tea, it's also worth noting that the new GPU's AI features are also great for those that want to lower noise levels, as both FSR, DLSS super resolution, and even frame generation will use less wattage than just pure rendering alone. So 120 FPS native will be louder than 120 FPS at DLSS performance. Definitely something to try after this video. And unfortunately, guys, I've got to say that after this video really isn't very long, because that is all we have time for today. I really hope this has been helpful. If it has, smash the like button. Please get yourself subscribed. Loads of you aren't, no idea why. But I think most importantly of all, let us know how you get on with tuning your fans, tuning your system, and if there's anything that I've missed, any other bits of software or any bits of advice, let others know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Really appreciate it. I will catch you in the next one.